cheering for. Everyone likes to talk about Loyola Chicago, so let's talk about them. Before we get to the highlights, I would like to point out that their very own sister Jean did not have her own team in the Final Four on her bracket, and she knows what she's talking about. Westwood One NCAA Radio Network takes us to the second half of the 8-seeded Ramblers taking on 12-seed Oregon State.
Get it to Thompson at the right elbow, shot clock at 4. Thompson dribbling, turns his back, face, fires for 14, got it! Ethan Thompson again with a bailout. 35-24 Oregon State.
Such a luxury to have a guy like Ethan Thompson, especially late clock situations.
Boy, he's played a lot of basketball, and it shows in a game like this. Here's a deep baseball pass to Thompson, makes the catch over the shoulder, to the basket for the two-hand slam. Thompson going deep, they hit him in stride, and he pays it off with a dunk. 37-24 Oregon State, timeout Loyola. What a play and what a pass. Alatishe hitting Ethan Thompson in stride.
Ethan Thompson led all players on the floor with 22 points. Nobody on the Rambler squad had above 14. You know what they say, defense wins championships. That'll give the Beavers the dub, 65-58. Head coach Wayne Tinkle, how are you feeling after this one?
Super proud. Just, you look at it, all we've had to deal with, in our time at Oregon State, and especially this year, and our guys never wavered. And we had some hiccups, obviously, along the way. We talked about a turning point after the Arizona game at home, at Cal, having to really challenge some guys that maybe, we're going to revert. And the guys just bought in, and I'm proud of them. I had so much confidence and belief in this group. I knew that this thing, as good as Loyola is, man, and as well coached, I knew that this thing was meant to be. I knew that we were going to move on. We're just playing with a lot of confidence on both ends. And, we're a pretty darn good defensive team. And we showed that. And then, timely baskets. I think early on we were a little caught in the moment. We weren't as sharp offensively. Plus, they're really good defensively. We heard about, that and saw it in all the tape we watched. But we settled in, and, there's no doubt in our guys' minds. They really believe that this is their time. It's what we said before we left the locker room, that we're not going to get rattled. This is our time. It's meant to be. Let's go play ball. And, like I said, they were all very, very calm through it all.
The win makes Oregon State the 18th double-digit seed in NCAA Elite 8 in the NCAA Elite 8 since the field expanded to 64 teams in 1985. It's only the second number 12 seed to make it. Loyola Chicago has been a good story to follow out over the last few years since their Cinderella run in the Final Four in 2018. Their head coach, Porter Moser, after the loss.
One told them to head their heads out. I told them to take all the towels off their head, look up, raise your head. The way they represented it, I sit them every year. I talk about it to start in the off season with the new guys and the old guys. I say, you're representing the name on the front of that jersey. We've established a culture that there's a lot that goes into representing that, and they did everything on and off the floor you could ask for representing that. The senior group, I talked about senior group in 2018 changing the direction of the program. This senior group changed it again to another level. You talk about leaving a wake of influence behind you. Those seniors, Lucas and Krutwig, the wake they leave for Loyola basketball. And we'll have conversations coming out here in the near future for them. But when you say uncharacteristic, I thought we played our tails off. I thought we did a lot of things. We didn't shoot the ball well.
Not shooting well in a game of basketball is conducive to losing. Moser has done well with this team, though. Could he be moving on soon?
I would say he stays, although there may be the pitch that they put on for Indiana. I think Indiana is a great job. I know that they've had some questions. I just feel like if you get the right coach, really in any job, I know Arkansas very dearly, and I know what can be done there. And Indiana obviously has a great recruiting base, and they've got a great tradition and history, and they've got a lot of alumni that want to see that program do well. I wouldn't be surprised if he stays, although if he does leave, there's probably going to be a lot of zeros behind the reason he leaves, which I don't blame him.
That was SEC Network's Pat Bradley on Primetime. Oregon State moves on to play the winner of this one. 2-seed Houston taking on 11-seed Syracuse.
And for the first time since Cougars, 37 years later, Houston back in the Elite Eight with a 62-46 win over the Syracuse Orange.
1984 was a long time ago. None of those kids on that floor were around then. I wasn't around then. Quentin Grimes led the Cougars with 14. Their season rolls on as well. Let's go to the women's side. 4-seed Indiana taking on 1-seed NC State, and this one went down to the very last second. ESPN2 takes us there.
Perez through the lanes,